Hi, everybody. This is Jen from Green Fiddle Pottery. I'm in Central Florida, and it's too noisy out in my front yard today with my garage, and the light wasn't that good. So I decided to be in here in the kitchen again. Right now, the landscaping people for the neighborhood are using all their blowers, and they're making a lot of noise. So here I am in here. Welcome to my fourth kiln opening. It's a small one. There's not a lot to this one, but some pretty nice things, I think. Uh, yeah. So before I get started, I did a little bit of I don't know, homework. Wouldn't call it really homework, but thank you all so much. Those of you who have commented and have watched, I really appreciate it. Like everybody else, I'm just amazed that anybody's watching it at all. So thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. For those of you who have mentioned my name, yay! Um, I have a couple of little show and tells before I get started that I think are kind of interesting because I'm kind of a real geek about stuff, and when I really get delve into something, I just geek out. So the first thing I want to show you is a book that I got for my birthday. My birthday was on Tuesday, that a friend of mine gave me, and you can't see it. Hopefully, it's backwards, so I'll read it to you. It's called Global Clay Themes in World Ceramic Traditions by John A. Burrison. And it all talks about, there's wonderful pictures, and it talks about pottery, not just from a historical perspective, but from the community perspective of potters, and how that since in time immemorial, I mean, literally going way back to ancient Mesopotamia and before, that potters have always come together as a community, and they have always inspired each other and collaborated with each other. And I feel like this community is just so amazing in that it's a pottery community that is literally worldwide. And everybody is so kind and everybody shares everything. And that is a tradition. If you did not know, that is a tradition that goes back thousands of years, that potters have always done this. And so we are just continuing a wonderful tradition. So, yeah, you can be really, really proud of that fact, I guess, that is something that potters have always done. And so I'm just really humbled to be a part of this community. So thank you very much for doing this. Everybody who puts their videos out there, just thank you so much. I just got done watching the latest Mud Magic one uh, with Trace Back, and I always learn something. And Nat actually mentioned something about how she loves to learn. Well, I'm the same way, and I always learn something. Every video I watch of yours, I learn something, and I just so appreciate it. So the other little show and tell thing. So also for my birthday, my husband picked up Mexican food at a local Mexican restaurant, and he had to stay and wait for it to get done. So he got himself a tequila, and it was given to him in this wonderful little doll, little ceramic. I mean, this was made in Mexico, but and it's got the greatest. Her head comes off, which is kind of cool. It's got a little glue-on stopper. There's a little plastic glue-on stopper there. Um, anyway, I can tell, at least I believe. Let me know what you think. That this was hand painted with underglazes, and then probably dipped in a clear glaze, and then they did a luster fire with this over the top. Um, and I've never seen anything really like it, but it does say that it was made in Mexico. Uh, and I just thought she was the cutest little thing. I mean, she's just adorable. And this, I mean, obviously, I think this was slip cast, but yeah, I mean, she's gorgeous. I'm going to keep her, and because somebody painted this. This was not stamped out in a factory. Somebody painted this. You can tell by looking at it. You can tell by the the little imperfections that somebody painted this. So, and it was probably slip cast, but still, I think she's adorable. So I just wanted you guys to see that. This also goes back to that book in that folk traditions and folk art around the world with pottery is also an ancient. So the worms that everybody's doing right now, a little, is just goes so far back. I mean, just so far back. So anyway, so that's my little show and tell. My little girl. I'm gonna keep her. I'll probably put her out by my kiln. I think she's adorable. So anyway, so now for my stuff. Um, yeah, it's okay, I would say. So the first piece I have here is a soup mug, and that is autumn. This is Spectrum. I got a bunch of Spectrum glazes. I think I told you that last time, and so this is now my first experimentation with them. I'm pleased. I'm very happy with them. So here's the autumn purple on the bottom, sangria on the top, speckled buff engobe on the bottom, which I do for everything now, and then pearl white in the inside with some sangria, which made some pretty drips. That's pretty. I'm happy with that. It's got a couple of small pinholes in the bottom. I don't know that I want to refire it. What do you all think? Should I, or should I just keep it? I mean, I'll keep it and use it. I don't care if it's got pinholes, but the pinholes are inside. The pearl white did pool a little bit on the inside. You can see that. So yeah, let me know what you think. Whether I should try to refire it or just keep it, use it because it's a nice soup mug and I like it. So that's that one. Then I have a present. This is a birthday present for one of my dear friends. She loves all things pink. So this is, there's some butterflies. The spectrum kind of covered over the butterflies a little more than I would have liked. You can still see them, and it's pretty. I do love the effect. This is the boogie pink on the bottom, and let me get my book because she can't remember. Butterfly mug. Shallot. So it's flux blossom on the inside 3 times, and then shallot halfway, and boogie pink, bougainvillea on the bottom, and then ruby slippers stroke and coat on the rose. And that just turned out lovely. There's no pinholes. There's no nothing. And I'm liking how stable the spectrum is. I'm really liking that. That's really nice. I was able to take it right down to the bottom. I got a good cone 5. I always go for a cone 5 with a 10-minute hold, and I always do a 30-minute preheat on my glaze kilns. And that does seem to work really, really well. So that's for my friend. And then I made a matching dish, which I believe is just the shallot. Anyway, and because what I like to do is make these little dishes, and sometimes they fit really well, and sometimes they don't. But for someone who likes tea, I use them every morning. I use them with my coffee every morning. I use it with my tea in the afternoon. You can put your tea bag on it. So yeah, so that's for her. It's her birthday this weekend, and I hope she likes it. So now I can go and wrap this. Then I have 2 mugs that are the same, more or less. Their handles are a little different. I'm getting much better. They are not doorstops anymore. So, yeah, they're hand built, but they're done with the Alexandria Pottery Company wheel assist molds, I guess you'd call them. And my husband got me a slab roller for Christmas, and that was a game changer. Absolutely loved, love, love, love. So anyway, so here's this. And that turned out pretty. So that is Mako's white gloss, because I ran out of snow. Got some on order on the inside, 2 coats. And that works out. 2 coats works out pretty well. And then I've got Louisiana Bayou to here. And then I've got Honey Flux to here. A little bit of overlap. And then this is Monet's Pond on top of the Honey Flux. And yeah, I think that turned out really pretty. Again, I don't see any pinholes, any problems with it. There's a little imperfection here, but I think that's okay on the outside. So yeah, that turned out really pretty. I'm happy with that. And then I have one with a square handle that's very close to it. Same glaze combination. I'm going to try and sell these as a set at my market next weekend and see what happens. Let me know how you guys do with sets, because I haven't had much luck with that. But then I haven't had too many things that were, well, good enough to be sets. So, but these are pretty. I'm really happy with these. Really happy. I'll do those again. And then I have something I'm not so happy with. So this is a planter. It was supposed to be a soup mug, but that didn't happen. So it's okay if you like this kind of green. I'm not too happy with it. So the inside is Mako's white gloss, but it kind of, I don't know. It's okay, but and then I put Meadow on the one time Jungle Gem Meadow over top of the white gloss to kind of maybe see what it would do. And it's okay. Can't say I'm a huge fan. And on the outside is Cactus, I think. Yeah, Cactus 2 times with a band of the Meadow along the top. And that actually is prettier. That's prettier. But I'll put a plant in it and we'll see how it looks. Let me know what you think. It's kind of wonky, but we'll see what happens. So then all I have left is I have a whole bunch of these little ring dishes. So my husband's retiring at the end of April, and we're having a big party, and I have to do 100 little ring dishes, all different colors. So just so everybody knows, everything I do, I consider a test tile. I really admire you people out there who are so organized, and you have the wonderful test tiles, and you have them on your jars of your glaze and all that, and all set up beautifully. I love that. I am not that person. I just figure, what the heck, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and then we smash it on New Year's Eve day and we have a good time. So anyway, so I have a bunch of these little ring dishes, all different colors, so to try them. So this is Spanish Moss by Spectrum, and I just really like that. That's pretty. And this is what Spanish Moss on Speckled Buff Engobe looks like. Looks about the same. I wanted to see what it looked like with this is all B mix. This is all Laguna B mix, which is pretty much my go-to clay. But that, I do like it on this with the Speckled Buff Engobe is pretty as well. So that's good to know. It absolutely obscures texture. There was texture here. There was, I swear. Not anymore. And then this one is Floating Turquoise by Spectrum. Also pretty. That does better with the texture. I can see the texture better on that one. And there's what it looks like on Speckled Buff Engobe. Also, not much difference, but you can see speckles through it. So that's nice. I like that. That's pretty. Now I have a couple of Louisiana Bayou just by themselves with a little mandala that got pretty well obscured. Also pretty dark, darker than I expected. I didn't expect it to be that dark. But here's what I noticed on the speckled buff engobe is that it turns this grayish black, dark gray, almost like a charcoal gray. Can't say as I'm a fan of that. So be careful if you use speckled buff engobe and you use Louisiana Bayou, unless you want a charcoal gray, that's what you're going to get. This is another Louisiana Bayou. Very dark. It actually turned out really, I mean, you can see some pretty color variations there, but it'll make a nice party favorite. Somebody will get it. This one is, what else did I try? I think this this might be shallot as well, because this might be boogie pink. I think this is shallot. I think this is boogie pink. I went with her mug. This is, yeah, I think. I like it though. And there again, that's what it looks like on the speckled buff engobe. Doesn't change color very much, so that's interesting. I'm going to try it on actual speckled buff and see what it does. I'm very curious to see what it does on regular speckled buff clay. But this is pretty. I like that. That's pretty. And then this is just Meadow. Jungle Gem Meadow. And it's I don't know. I'm still undecided about this one. I just got it, and this is the first I've tried it. So I'll try it on some other things and see what I get, see what I like. So the only thing left I have is a couple of plates that I made for myself. This is the Kim and Todd Unseth Cordovan Birch Flux combination that is just always just so beautiful. And these are just gorgeous. And this is part of a set that I'm keeping for myself. This would be number 3 and number 4 of the 10-inch. Also the speckled buff engobe. And then this is just birch on the speckled buff engobe, which I think is pretty. So it's kind of translucent on the back, so that's nice. But yeah, these just wow, oh wow. I mean, that's just such a lovely combo. And I'm so pleased to report they nest. Yay! And then I have one of the 8-inch, which is kind of wonky. It went wonky. I should have fired it flat, and I didn't. I put it on the little stilty things, little triangular cone ceramic silty things, which work really well, but it worked it. So it kind of, but it's got some beautiful, beautiful purples there. I mean, just gorgeous. So, but it's for me. So that's it. So anyway, so that's it. That's my kiln opening. It's not a whole lot. I just turned it right around. I've got another one going into bisque now. I have 2 fairies, a mermaid, and worms in the next one. So I'm really looking forward to painting those. So anyway, I'm going to put a little clip at the end, so stick around, of some of my nature neighbors. So I live in a neighborhood where it could be a nature preserve, and any given time, deer walk by the window and sandhill cranes, and the sandhill cranes had their babies, and they came up to say hi when I was. They come walking through my yard every day, and the babies are just so cute. So I'm going to put a little video clip at the end of the babies. So I hope you enjoy them, plus some pictures of the stuff in the light. So anyway, that's it, and have a great day. Have a wonderful upcoming weekend, and I look forward to seeing everybody's kiln openings and everything else. I got several I have to catch up on that I need to do. So I'm going to go do that next. So thanks so much, guys, and see you next time. Bye.